I'd like to bring a Fox Business senior correspondent, Charlie Gasparino. Charlie, what do you make of this news?
It was foreshadowed yesterday. I mean, as we reported on Fox Business exclusively yesterday, when they started moving many of the reporting lines to his number two, Tim Sloan, the COO of the company. What I said yesterday is that John Stumpf will be out by the end of the year, and he is indeed out by the end of the year. You know, this is a pretty intense fall from grace. I mean, this guy was considered one of the best bank managers in the business. He ran a very profitable bank, a very well-capitalized bank. But here's where the rubber meets the road in American banking these days, since it's so highly politicized. You come out and you give lousy performances before Congress amid a scandal, and you, as a leader of a bank, are toast. And I'll tell you this, if you look at the numbers involved here, this is not the scandal of the century. We're talking about, you know, $10 million were ripped off from people. I'm not saying I'm not condoning it, but I'm telling you, this isn't a Bernie Madoff $50 billion, $100 billion ripoff. This is very small potatoes in that sense. But when John Stumpf went on in front of Congress, he really seemed incapable of explaining either what happened or what they were going to do to prevent this happening, the creation of these phony accounts in the future. And he walked right into left hooks from everybody from Elizabeth Warren to Republicans who couldn't really defend him. I mean, listen, let's be real clear. The actions themselves was pretty egregious. You set up a fake bank account. You set up a fake checking account in a customer's name. You know, that's bank fraud. But the level of it being I mean, I'm telling you, we're talking about a guy that's being blown out, a CEO is being blown out for $10 million scandal. I know it's bad, but it's not that much money. Is pretty astounding, and a lot of it comes down to the fact that banks are incredibly politicized now. Their masters are, not the shareholders anymore. It's not the board of directors. It's Elizabeth Warren. It's the Consumer Financial Protection Board. It's the Federal Reserve. By the way, all federal entities that completely missed this scandal as it was going. They're actually camped out. The CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Board, is actually in the offices of Wells Fargo, and they had no idea this was going on. This story came out because people complained about some of this stuff happening at the LA Times. The LA Times did some stories, and
that's an important point. The regulators
in.
didn't catch it. It was the news media. And Charlie, John Stumpf was doubling down as of a couple of weeks ago, saying, "I'm not going to resign. I'm not going to step down. I am accountable. I am the guy to fix this."
Good luck.
And now he's going to walk away with a lot of money. I mean, he is giving back $41 million. He can walk away, though, still with $160 million, $170 million. I'm
going to say this, Liz, and I'm not condoning the activity. People should be drawn and quartered who agree to this. If they have aggressive sales tactics, you should go out and stop it. We should point out that if they were that aggressive, you would think that the ripoffs would be more than $10 million, maybe many multiples of that. But I'll tell you this. These banks, the way they allowed them to be created and post-financial crisis are huge. Wells Fargo is a combination of many banks. It took over, I believe, Wachovia post-2008. Being so big, you need really good managers that understand this. They can't be everywhere, by the way. Stuff is going to fall through the cracks like this. John Stumpf didn't know about this as it was going on. But if you're going to have big banks and you're going to be putting CEOs accountable for everything that happened at those big banks, you're going to lose really good people. And these banks are systemic. They're big. And when they fail, they're going to destroy the financial system. And one reason why Citigroup failed back in 2008, and it was they bailed it out, but it was about to go under. It needed 2 bailouts, I should point out. Was because it had really lousy management. A whole group of managers left because of some of the stuff that went on with Sandy Weil and Jamie Dimon and things like that. They were left with the dregs of management, and they had no idea what was going on. And Citigroup, with $1 trillion worth of deposits, if that went under, the federal government would have had to make up $1 trillion worth of deposits.
God, that's a lot of money. Charlie, you have, of course, a lot of sources on Wall Street. And what, to their mind, when John Stumpf testified and Elizabeth Warren pretty much raked them over the coals. What did they feel was the break point for them where they lost faith in John Stumpf's leadership?
Well, the first hearing, I think, was it. Although I will tell you this, people like Gary Kaminsky, who's a former senior executive at Morgan Stanley, who's now doing Wall Street Week, and even Melissa Francis, who's one of our people, just a journalist like me, they really, but who's pretty knowledgeable in Wall Street affairs. She's been covering the street for a long time. They saw the writing on the wall even before me. I didn't think he was a goner because I just know he's considered a good manager, and you need good managers at these banks. So they saw it even before that. They just saw the severity, the type of crime was pretty sleazy. It's almost along the lines of, you know, Chris Christie and people in his administration causing traffic on the GWB. It's not the crime of the century, but what happened here was so sleazy.
Yeah, you know, Charlie, it just basically, people want to feel safe in their homes. They want to feel safe in their bank. And if your bank is creating fake accounts in your name, you don't know about it. I mean, holy Toledo, and it could slam your credit score, and they could be putting money in a checking account, and then you take the money out, and you get hit with an overdraft charge you didn't even sign up for.